Well, you guys were in the hill and it ended.
I mean, yeah, I was in it.
That's the fucking map win. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I just lost full. All good though.
Wow, we killed all of them.
I mean,
Wait, were you in hill too or no?
Yeah, you guys would have traded it 100%.
You guys were 100% kill that kid?
Yeah, says I was like
Where?
1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like there's
At the
that.
last 2 cut street. That's a map that I don't go.
Yo, maybe drop it.
You just heard that little clip there from the end of this map. So I decided to take one more day just because I don't know if this is something that would actually show up in tournament play or not, but towards the end, it looked like Scump might have been in, and then if he was in, Envoy also would have been in, and in that scenario, they would have been able to trade out the last kill, and they would have won this map. So it'll be interesting to see. Make sure you hang around to check if he was in, or if that's something that will come back, if that's something that needs fixed from the developers. Not quite sure. But we did talk about this scrim in specific at length yesterday, so I'm not going to spend too much time going through each of the maps and covering the map count and all that, but I do think if Chicago would have won this one, again, a glitch, not really quite sure, but if Chicago would have won this one, they would have won all of the hard points except for checkmate, and that's kind of the way things have been going for them, right? They're pretty good at most, like Moscow, they're pretty good at. Garrison, they're okay. Raid, they're pretty good at. Crossroads is one that they usually struggle against teams like this that have really good SMGs, like your Sims, like your Abizis, against Dallas with your Shotsies, Hukes, Illies, those guys. But they played really good in this scrim on Crossroads also. So, yeah, overall, it was a good day. Now, we've seen this about 3 weeks ago when these two teams scrimmed, that Chicago did really great one day, and then a week later, Atlanta did really well. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens here. But in this one, I want to talk through the first set of rotations. So, for example, right now, P1 was not the best for either squad. Atlanta was able to flip for P2. And now it looks like they might even be able to flip for P3 because you see Scum spawn behind right there, behind old P2. So far, the way this is starting, Chicago should have got that initial time inside of P2. They just got pushed out. And that kill right there on Simp is one that could actually end up hurting them depending on where Atlanta gets their spawns. It looks like they're going to get a top Esky spawn, as you just saw another kill right there on Simp. But had the rest of OpTic Chicago not been pushed back towards Library, then that kill on Simp would have just spawned him closer to P3. So sometimes, again, it's the little intricacies of the game. Sometimes you have to weigh all of those options, but it didn't end up hurting them. And the game's going so fast that sometimes you don't really think about stuff like that. But to start, really good opening here from Atlanta. Now Chicago seems to have locked P3 down, and you just noticed a little switch right there in Scump and what class he picked. So I don't know if it seems like it might just be a strategy that as it goes towards P4, he's going to bring out the 74U and play a little bit closer inside of gold. And if that's the case, I like that, because if you have those right side spawns, so if you're spawning over towards bank and you're trying to push towards bus repeatedly, if you're able to get a couple kills inside that P4 hardpoint, you can always be killed from that bottom jump up. So if that's their strategy, I actually kind of like that, to take your SMG, an extra SMG, put them down in gold, try to guard that jump up. That way you can get some of the time from this side of the map. But so far, Atlanta's doing a nice job. And the last couple times that we've talked through Moscow, we've brought up the mini map, we've drawn it out. But this is really, it's what you're starting to see more and more, that even if a team is spawning out on P4, so they're spawning over here towards Courtyard, they can get inside P4, push up a little bit further towards bus, towards that elbow area, and capitalize on those kills. And Atlanta just did a nice job of that. So as it goes back towards P1, again, Chicago has the bad side of the map, so look for them to try to flip this out, get to the other side. Looked like Formal just died over towards Globe as he was trying to push out that bottom side of the map. So at this point, for OpTic, it turns into, okay, let's try to get inside the hard point. That way we can counter some of the scores, some of the points that Atlanta is going to end up getting inside of P2 if they're not successful at flipping. Nice two-piece. Envoy also gets one there, so there might only be one in the back. And if that's the case, and you saw that second kill from Scump was from ARCITYS, so that leads you to believe that as Atlanta was coming up off of spawn, they were spawning out towards P2, up towards lobby, up towards top ARCITYS. This is a little bit of an odd spawn here from Scump. My guess would be that Atlanta's pushing through mid, they're pushing through lobby. They're a little bit too close to that back P2 spawn, and that hasn't popped yet, so he wouldn't get that spawn, but that's kind of where we're at. So, I know it's early, but about this time, maybe a little bit later, we bring up the team comms. We let you hear exactly what they're talking about. So without further ado, let's go ahead. I'll still hop in here when I think things are super important that I want to point out. But for now, let's go ahead. Let's listen into the Chicago team comms as we're about halfway through the second set of rotations here.
He's behind me, court. There's one court, one mid.
Nothing front. Nothing front.
Another one mid on me.
I'm open mid.
I got three.
I'm pushing up. I'm pushing up with Dale. Go mid, Dale.
Yeah.
Go with the back.
Mid.
Side room.
Side room. Yo, get this 20.
I'm getting it.
Side room.
I spawned it old.
Yeah, two at old.
There's two at old. There's two at old.
Put the hell hard.
Yo, mid stairs. Mid stairs.
Are they still hitting it?
By the way, and just in case you're curious, this scrim was the night of the AK-47 potential GA. So as I'm watching down in the bottom left-hand corner, ARCITYS is definitely using the AK, and I think Dashy was too. I haven't been paying super close attention, but right there you see a kill from ARCITYS using the AK, and I think Dashy is as well. We'll see as it plays out. But let's go ahead. Just wanted to point that out. Let's listen back in.
I got one of them.
Elbow tie the weak.
Yeah, I'm watching over you.
Nice. Elbow tie the weak.
Nice.
One's in books.
Let's go books.
You want front books. He's challenging you guys.
He's me
That's
front
guy.
I don't see him.
Books.
Damn.
Books.
Run up, you guys. Hang on.
Yo,
I
one's
don't see Cell.
outside bank dead.
You guys can
Probably more
push
here mid on me.
There's more. A couple spawn bank there. Let's go.
Flash mid. Oh,
Close mid, simp. Hit him twice.
he stuck me. I got him though.
All good.
They're rotating.
Wow,
Yeah, they're in there.
Yo, he's hitting old.
Alright, that kid's gonna try to spawn kill elbow or some shit. Helping new.
Guy on old cell.
In new Alec. Fuck, he's just holding it. He's at the
Holding
bus.
it?
He's at the bus. Nah,
He's trying to get rack control.
Back towards the bus.
Stuff coming
Not this bus. The fucking.
Okay, the phone.
Damn shot.
Yeah.
And by the way,
And one's on top.
I love pointing stuff like this out. Celium was able to get that kill, as that's kind of a nasty kill right there from Scump on a BZ. But towards the end of P3 right there, you saw Celium just push, that last push. He was able to get that kill on Envoy, and it saved like 12 or 13 points. And you might think in the midst of thing, well, it's a 10-point game or whatever. But this map was decided by 8 points. So it's easy to overlook little plays like that, but that could have been the deciding factor in this map overall. Let's go ahead. Let's listen back in.
He's deep mid.
Dead one. More glow, BZ weak, hit him twice.
I think he pinched our pillars.
He's on the close front heady.
Yo, close heady. Abe, absolute.
Fuck,
You can get time.
Oh, he's going SE's left side time.
Cell on globe. One bullet.
Oh, dead.
Abe, one shot dead. More globe, right?
Nah, we killed him.
One shot new Alec. Literally a bullet. I think there's two new. One is Eskies, one's in new.
Street on me.
I can kill Sky Street.
I jumped out of the fucking map.
Another one there, I think. Another one there.
And B search window or globe absolute. Abe.
I spawned behind him.
He was hella weak.
Laying right
Globe,
side
one shot
time,
still.
Alec.
Globe, one shot still, Abe. Fuck. You might hit street,
We're
guys.
spawning out bank.
Behind
We're
us.
spawning bank.
Yeah,
By the way, one other thing to kind of pick up on here. I don't know, as you're listening to their team comms, you'll notice that they're not calling out ARCITYS. They're calling out Alec. They're not calling out a BZ. They're calling out Abe. So they've kind of they're not calling out Celium. They're just saying Cell. So in a game where obviously communication is super important, if you can cut multiple syllables off of everybody's name, Alec, Abe, Cell, instead of ARCITYS, a BZ, Celium, it can save you some time, and it can benefit, and it can help you communicate just a little bit quicker, especially in a game that moves as fast as this one is. But just wanted to point that out.
So much scrap.
I know we're giving for shit right here, dude. Under window, Cell.
What was he new?
More
All
gold.
deep back.
He's all deep back PD.
Alex said all to me.
One's DPD on me, guys.
Alex, one shot.
That's one front. That's one close front.
Yo,
I'm
one was
flanking
top
front.
PD.
I think there's spawning mid. He'll dead.
One was bottom PD area.
Once we mid.
back.
I didn't see anything mid. Yo, he's
Alec,
cube.
Alec,
Square.
One to the back, Dead.
Alex,
back.
That's this guy. Nice. Yo, nice.
I'm
I'm getting a trophy on you and going BS&D. They could go blind
Go ahead.
spot. Watch
I'll
blind
pick up
spot.
bin.
Staying down from front. Right, you
What's
look over me
open?
now.
What's
You look over me
Yeah,
front.
yeah,
you
I
look
got
over
you,
me
I got you.
Got one BS&D.
Yeah, nothing mid yet.
Got two BS&D.
Front sit.
Another one there.
Nice.
I'm
Nice,
going,
nice,
I'm
nice.
going.
Yeah, go, go, go,
Break,
go.
break,
Give up the
break.
back spawn.
I still have an artillery, but I'm saving that for street if I can.
Just real quick, I want to pause and I want to point this out because I really love what Scump did just there. And if you're, so right now, if you're OpTic, you're inside of P2. Obviously, you have lobby lockdown. You have somebody up top kind of watching mid right here. You have somebody inside the hill watching this push here. But what Scump did is he went over here into BS&D. And as he's in here, think about this from an Atlanta Faze point of view, right? If they're spawning up here, you hit there, maybe you could trade that out, get a little bit lucky, get in, but probably not likely. You come down here, you have to run down this hallway right here. I know there is a little bit of a blind spot right here towards the top from the person that's sitting up top, but that's a really tough route to take. So the thing that's much easier to do is to jump up into this window and hit BS&D. You can hit this doorway here, get a potential kill looking this way. You can flank around the back if you're doing this really early and try to jump up and get these spawns. You can hit this window where once you get here, you can try to get this kill and jump up. You can sneak into the backside of the hardpoint. So if you're trying to approach this hardpoint, you just saw multiple kills there from Scump as they try to push BS&D. It's just an option that's a little bit easier and it's just a little bit safer to try to get in the back of that.
One in bank, one elbow, one front.
Like
Where
to the left,
in
to the left.
Oh yeah, fuck him.
There's one elbow and one front hill.
We're spawning
Do
at
we have any more
old.
streaks or no?
Yeah, he
I
has
have
an
one, yeah.
artillery.
I don't know how we should use this to be honest. I'm gonna go around the back. Guys.
I'll go mid.
I spawned
Where'd you
bank again.
spawn? Yo,
I can
we'll
spawn
spawn
bank.
Back? Yeah, okay, I can open the back.
Eski's gonna kill me.
I'm waiting.
Eski's wait.
So you spawn?
Do they spawn?
I'm spawning. Might want to drop it.
I'm
Here, we
dropping
should,
it.
I'm gonna ride back for this guy, skis.
Play the back with you.
I dropped 2 on time and 1 in the back.
Yo, and Eski's sit.
I don't see the guy in the back though.
Eski's dead. Eski's
I got
dead.
one in
They're
the
gonna
back.
be elbow. They're gonna be
Yo,
an
in the
elbow.
deep back. To left,
One's
to
an
left.
elbow, 100%. He went the time.
Oh, what's on the very
He
back?
just pushed out front time.
Damn, if you got that kill, we were chilling.
Oh, stop
Good
shooting one
though.
guy's elbow.
Book.
Jesus, dude.
They don't
And
want
elbow. And books. You hit him with that nade. He's close right. Nice.
Hell,
No trophies,
dead.
no trophies.
One more.
Those streaks right there from Envoy might not have been enough to flip spawns and get them out of P3, but it was enough to get them to back off for just a moment. And because of that, now they can no longer win on P3. So it's going to rotate over towards P4, and you can see them trying to get this initial time and get this set up inside of P4.
I'm getting in the bus. In the bus.
Bus.
They could have you guys. They could have
Bus
shoot.
weak.
I'm behind bus. I'm behind bus.
Bus one shot.
Watch
Bus one
rat.
for Alec. In the bus. One shot. In the bus. Nice. Good one.
He's
One shot in the
probably
bus.
this.
Alec.
Dead.
Nice dude.
Nice.
Yo, one
I'm in
flanking
rat.
street,
Yo,
I'm
one
in
flanking
rat.
street, Flanking street. Flanking street.
Flanking street, snip dead.
I'm in
Nice.
rat.
Inside bank on me.
I'm looking over you guys. Hang on.
Wood door, absolute
Bank,
Alec.
then-
Literally a bullet. Pillars.
2.
A bullet pillars.
Rat. 2 in rat.
Remember, I'm
2
coming,
rat.
coming.
Yeah, they're
Ready,
flooding me
ready.
rat. I'm dead, bro. There's
Yeah,
one
every
in rat,
pillar,
one in
every
rat,
pillar,
one's
right?
pillars.
Every pillars.
2 pillars actually. 2 pillars, 1 rat.
Every pillars. Every pillars.
Trying to get a trophy down for you.
Pillars,
Pillars.
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 In
One in the
bus,
bus. One in the
Alec.
bus too.
Got one pillars.
Nice. Dead. Might be
Yo, one's
rat.
pinch and glow, pinch and glow, pinch and glow.
One guy was right at me. Yep.
Both dead.
I'm turning. Nice.
Yeah, rat.
Bank,
I'm
go,
going to
bank,
new.
go,
I'm
bank,
going to
bank,
new,
one
guys.
shot.
You guys gotta go
Bank,
big. I'm
bank,
pushing
bank,
out
bank,
Eskies. I'm going new, pushing out
I'm staying
Eskies.
down here.
He's already new on me. I'm fucked.
I'm pushing rat. Hang on.
He's
I'm pushing
one
rat.
shot. One shot at new. Abe.
I got one on rat.
Yo, we
pinch.
spawn
playing
bank.
that.
We spawn bank.
Yo, in the window, pushing out globe. Another window.
Globe.
Absolute.
We gotta get new time. They're in it.
I'm hitting this shit.
Alright, I
that's
spawned
it.
P2.
Right corner, Abe. Right corner
Extra
hill.
point, extra point. You can get in.
We get in,
you
we get in.
On
He's
time,
breaking
on
it.
time.
They're gonna be Eskies. They're gonna be Eskies.
Two. One's gold.
More
Eskies.
enemies for me, Alec. No.
Wait, what? We're in
We had to
it.
kill that one guy.
We're literally in it.
So I kind of wanted to let that play out, but let's just go back 10 seconds. Let's show this. So obviously 1 more second and Atlanta wins. It looks like on screen, again, I'll just draw right here. It looks like this is the line, right? So if Scump moves forward and tucks into this corner, even if he doesn't get this kill right here on ARCITYS, Envoy is pushing in from Globe. So if ARCITYS takes the kill on Scump, Envoy can run in from the right. He can trade that out, and then they can just try to get those last 8 seconds there. But as you watch this, you're going to see him tuck into this corner, and it seems like right now he should be contesting. And when he moves to the left, you can even see it there for a split second. It might have been just a tiny bit too late for the tick, but I'll see if I can stop it in time. If not, I won't worry about it. But right there, see on the middle of your screen, it literally says that the time's being contested. So I don't know if this is something that'll come back to affect them when the season starts or what, but I just wanted to make sure that we were pointing that out. So ARCITYS went really big on this map. This is actually a map that it's pretty rare to drop a 40 bomb, and he did drop 40. Scump played pretty well. Really, Dashy played well too, but I think that's what you're going to see, at least for the next couple months out of these top teams, is just a lot of close maps, back and forth depending on the scrim, and we'll see what happens. So if you guys are new around here, this is a little bit of a longer video, but make sure you hit that subscribe button, leave a like if you don't mind, as it helps out the channel. With that, we will see you guys in tomorrow's upload.